Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and thank you so much for joining me. In this video, yes, you saw that thumbnail correctly. I am going to show you how you can make an outdoor farm table for under $100. I actually did it for quite a bit less than that, and I'm going to detail how I did it in this video right here. So let's not waste any more time and let's get right to it and show you how we did it. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me, but let's just talk about the elephant in the room, the price, all right? Under $100, here's your breakdown. Deck boards, 2x4s, and one 4x4, that's all you need, and the hardware to get it all put together. So let's start building and let's get going and have some fun. First step in the process, we're gonna take a 2x4, we're gonna cut it into 3 sections. Then I'm gonna take it on my table saw and I'm gonna rip it through, giving me essentially 6 2x2s. I'm gonna put these off to the side and we're gonna lay out our deck boards now to give us a tabletop essentially. Gonna go ahead and line them up, take a drywall square, and I'm gonna put 2 marks 8 inches in from the edge. All right, next step in the process is to take a clamp and just snug up the deck boards right next to each other. Take a flush trim screw here. I like these because the head is just small enough to where it can go through the actual wood without giving too much damage to it, and you still get a super strong hold, be it that it's an exterior screw as well. I'm gonna repeat that process on the other side, making sure not to go all the way through. And the goal here with this table is to have no mechanical fasteners showing on the top of the table. So screwing them in from underneath, as you see me doing here, is essentially gonna help us achieve that goal. With the 2 ends screwed in, we're gonna evenly place the other 4 2x4s across the bottom of the table and screw them in just like we did before. Now it's time to make my way to the miter saw. Yes, I don't have a very good setup here, as you can see, and it helps to have cat-like reflexes when you don't have a nice miter saw setup, as you see there. Either way, I'm cutting 4 sections at 28.5 inches long, and this is why I was able to buy only one 4x4, 12 feet in length, to give me all 4 legs. Using a speed square and a circular saw, I'm taking about 10 inches off of the 2x4s that are gonna run the length of the table. Then I'm gonna put the legs in place. As you can see, the legs here are very far from the center of the table. I want these legs to be as far and wide as possible. That being said, it's now time to cut on the crosscut sled a stretcher that's gonna go in between the legs at the head and the foot of the table, thusly. With all the 2x4s cut for the under part of the table, before I attach these legs, I'm gonna take a 1/2 inch roundover bit and I'm gonna soften all the sides and the feet of the table as well. You can see here, that look helps prevent splintering when the table is moved around, and it gives it a nice soft feel as well. Now with the 2x4 all clamped in place, as you see here, it's now time to drive home some screws into the 2x2s we made earlier. I'm kind of creating a makeshift pocket hole here. I don't typically like using pocket holes for stuff like this. One, I have an outdated pocket hole jig and I'm not real happy with it, so I'm just not gonna use it. Plus, to use these trim screws, it really helps just to kind of angle it myself. Now I want to show you one little trick here as well. These screws are going in at slight angles, which is going to give me a stronger hold in the long run, just so you know. You don't want to drive them straight in. Drive them in at 2 different angles. That way the propensity for the piece to come out is far less. Now turning my attention to the front and back of the table, I've taken a couple clamps and clamped in the 2x4 just in place in between the legs. And again, with that slight angle that I'm using here, creating a nice strong hold. Take the clamps off, take the legs off, and yeah, this is the piece I was talking about that was a little bit temporary. The reason being is it was basically there just to hold everything in place, because now I have to take some 45-degree angle cuts on some 2x4s that are about 8 inches in length, and basically I'm cutting them to a certain length to give me 4 even pieces. The pieces then go into the sides here. As you can see, I'm just screwing them in place. I'm not attaching them at the bottom, I'm just attaching them to the sides, and you'll see why in a minute. Once all 4 corner brackets are in place, it's now time to install the legs. Here's a cool little piece of Baltic birch with a 90-degree cutout. Reason being is it really helps me clamp pieces that have a 90-degree bevel to one side. Gives me a place to put the clamp, hold everything in place. That way I'm able to take a 3/8 inch drill bit, drill a hole through the bottom of the bracket, make sure that my lag screw isn't quite long enough to stick through, and we are good to go. This is by far my favorite method of attaching table legs to any table, and it's super strong. If you haven't done it yet, check this out. And it's so simple. Quick drill, go ahead and take the lag screw with the impact driver, snug it all in place. All 4 legs are attached the same way using 8 total lag screws, and these legs aren't going anywhere. Have I ever told y'all how fun this stuff is? God, I love it. So if you guessed it, I removed those pieces because they were in the way of the lag screws. Taking them out temporarily, putting them back in now to give you just that little bit of extra strength. All right guys, I'm gonna bring you and give you a MAKERBOARD update real quick. We're gonna feature this week on YouTube, Zach from Southern Ginger Workshop. He's got some really awesome videos detailing exactly how to use CNC machines. He's a pretty technical guy, man. His shop is outfitted with some really neat stuff. Go check him out, give him some love, and also tell him who sent you. Also, droning for wood. This is my buddy Wesley, and he is, well, how do I put this? He makes everything out of wood that pertains to exotic hardwoods, woods from all over the world, and the things that he makes, absolutely beautiful. So check him out as well. Both these channels and pages will be linked down below. Give these guys some love. Let's get back to the project. Not sure if I should do this by myself, but wish me luck. I'm gonna try to get this table into the backyard alone. I got a car right here. Let me move it. Oh God, let this be a lesson. Prior planning prevents poor performance, or in this case, before you move a 300-pound table, move your car out of the way. All right, so in case that's happening to you, hopefully you learn from my mistake. Now, this thing's a beast, and I'm gonna do this all by myself. I had to have my neighbor help me. I couldn't do it by myself. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. This thing is too heavy to move by one person. Very much thankful for my neighbor being home at this time, and yeah, now it's in the backyard and it's not going anywhere. Now it's time to take a circular saw, make a line, and we're gonna cut off these nasty edges, giving us a nice cohesive look. Again, this is kind of commonplace when you're building a table. You take it and you trim it off, but I'm gonna take a chamfer bit here on my router, which is about a 1/2 inch as well, and we're gonna ease the edges all the way down, giving us a nice 45-degree angle pitch, and then of course, sanding. I sanded the entire table, but I'm only gonna show you a little snippet because honestly, who wants to see some sanding? But now check this out. This is all that's left from all the materials. That's pretty cool. All right, the benches you're seeing me put in place here, I built over a year ago for my son's birthday party before I even built this table. It just so happens this is a happy accident. They fit underneath it great, and you can see the construction of them. They were kind of made from the deck boards as well. Now, if you don't stain this table and you wait about 1.5 years or so, that's what the boards will end up looking like. You can see the difference in color. Oh, of course, my sweet daughter had to join me. She's gonna be the first person to have a meal there, and she's just enjoying herself. Now, finally, everything is coming together in this backyard. We've got one of these nice cantilevered umbrellas. Actually, one of my big box stores had these for $100 off, so I went ahead and took the opportunity because I wasn't spending very much money on the table, so I decided to splurge a little bit and get myself a nice shade, and yes, my daughter approves. This thing's pretty cool. Actually, you can rotate it back and forth wherever you need it. And yeah, I'm real happy with this purchase. She's so sweet. You know, at some point, this is kind of what it's all about. You build things not just for yourself, but for the ones you love and for your family. And you know, this patio was done probably about 9 months ago, and we love it. And absolutely, I purchased a couple of cheap pieces of furniture here to kind of get me through until I was able to make things for myself. So this table is the first of many things that I want to put out in this back patio, and I can foresee a ton of meals being here. And speaking of meals, well, this is all you get. This is not a cooking channel, but I decided to grill up some pork tenderloin medallions and some corn, and it was fantastic. Well, what do you think, guys? $100, and we got that thing done. I did spend a little bit more money. Full disclosure here, I did buy some deck stain, which put me around that $95 mark. And eventually, after about 3 or 4 weeks when that wood dries out, I am gonna put some deck stain and sealant on there. This is a cobalt blue color, but that's gonna fit our needs. I left it blank so you can get a picture of how this can be a blank canvas for you. Either way, guys, go out there, spend the better part of an afternoon and make something for yourselves. Do something nice for yourself. You know, get a project off your bucket list and knock it out. It is one of the best feelings in the world to build something, to make something, be proud of it. And man, you get to use it for years to come. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm gonna invite you to, if you like, now no pressure of course, but I've got a new and invigorated Patreon campaign. And what the Patreon is, if you're not familiar with it, it is a crowdfunding site to where you, if you're passionate about certain creators, you have the ability to support them with monetization. And it's a monthly subscription service. If you're not familiar with it, I'm gonna link down below exactly what it is and where you can find how you can support us. And of course, the guys and gals that are already supporting us right now, you have my sincerest thanks each and every day. And if it's for you, thank you. And if it's not, no pressure whatsoever at all. Again, thank you for watching. Your viewership is enough for me. I am always going to invite you to subscribe to the channel, and I've got a few more videos playing over here as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you on that next project. Again, my name is Chris, and this has been A Glimpse Inside, and we'll see you later.